There are so many yummy vegetarian options out there. You could try like lentil soup, veggie burgers, tofu stir fry. The possibilities are endless. Let me ask you something. Do you ever find yourself saying sorry when someone else literally bumps into you? Or, it's 3 a.m. and you're just lying there replaying that one stupid, awkward thing you said at a party, just cringing into your pillow. If any of that sounds familiar, listen to me. You are suffering from a fatal condition. And no, I'm not being dramatic. The condition is this: your face is just too thin. You see, from the moment we're born, we're basically programmed for this. We're taught to be nice, right? Follow the rules, don't make waves, get everyone to like you. But this creates a huge vulnerability. I mean, just look at the contrast. On one hand, you've got good people who spend all their energy worrying about what others think. And on the other, you have the people who actually run the world. We're talking CEOs, visionaries, leaders. Do you think they lose sleep worrying about being nice? Not a chance. Okay, so if being nice isn't the answer, what is? Well, the answer comes from a place you probably wouldn't expect. It's a forbidden strategy, a kind of secret code hidden in a book that was considered, well, dangerous. Let's go back in time. The year is 1911. A Chinese scholar named Li Zongwu starts analyzing history, looking for a pattern. He's trying to figure out what separates the winners from the losers. And what he discovers, what he writes down, is so explosive, so counter to everything people believed, that his book gets banned almost the second it's published. The name of his theory? Thick Face, Black Heart. Yeah, I know. It sounds like something straight out of a villain's handbook, right? But Li was really clear about this. It's not a guide to becoming a monster. It's a tool for survival, a tool for keeping your sanity in a world that isn't always kind. So let's actually break this down. What is this secret code? It really comes down to 2 core ideas, 2 tools, the shield and the spear. First up is the shield. This is the thick face. I want you to imagine having a kind of psychological armor, an impenetrable shield around your spirit. Insults, they just bounce off. Criticism, it doesn't even touch you. You become immune to the opinions of others. You know when you see a politician just smiling and waving while a whole crowd is booing them? That is a masterclass in thick face. And it's not about being arrogant, it's about being free. Okay, now for the spear, the black heart. And look, this is the part that usually scares people, but it's so important to understand. This does not mean being evil. It means having the ability to be ruthless in pursuit of your goal. Think about a surgeon. A surgeon can't get emotional and start crying in the middle of an operation. They have to detach, they have to cut to save a life. That requires a black heart, that ability to put emotion aside to do what absolutely has to be done. Li Zongwu himself put it perfectly. He said, the hero and the villain use the exact same tools. The only difference is the result. That spear that a surgeon uses to save a life is the same tool a murderer could use to take one. These are just tools. It's the intention and the outcome that decides whether they're used for good or for evil. Okay, to really get this, there's nothing better than a real story from history. It's a classic tale of 2 generals, and it's really a story about what matters more, your reputation or your mission. So let's meet our 2 rivals. First, we have Xiang. He's the classic hero type, noble, respected, basically the guy everyone sees as the good guy. And then you've got his rival, Liu Bang. He was, well, the opposite, kind of crude, a bit of a scoundrel, not the guy you'd expect to root for. So Xiang Yu's problem, his fatal flaw, was his incredibly thin face. He was obsessed with his image. He wanted to be seen as this great, benevolent leader. He'd literally cry when his soldiers got sick. He desperately wanted to be loved by everyone. And that need for approval made him weak. He'd show mercy to his enemies, who would then turn around and try to destroy him, all because he cared more about his reputation than about actually winning. And Liu Bang? Oh, he had a black heart all right. Get this, at one point he's fleeing from an enemy and his carriage is too heavy, it's slowing him down. So to lighten the load, he kicked his own children out of the moving carriage. I know, it's a shocking, brutal thing to do, but it tells you everything you need to know about his laser focus on survival and the mission. So, how did it all end? Well, Xiang Yu, the good guy who was obsessed with his reputation, was completely defeated and ended up taking his own life. And Liu Bang, the scoundrel who was obsessed with his mission, he became the Emperor of China. He founded the Han Dynasty, which lasted for 400 years. He understood that in the end, the mission was the only thing that truly mattered. Okay, so you don't need to be an ancient warlord or kick your kids out of a car. So how does this apply to us right now in our modern lives? It's all about protecting what's important to you, your goals, your projects, your dreams. It really comes down to two things you need to do. First, you have to develop a thick face. This is your shield against the critics, the doubters, the haters. Their words literally can't hurt you if you don't let them. And second, you develop a black heart. This is what lets you cut through all the noise, to say no to things that don't matter, and to finally say yes to your own damn priorities. And let me be crystal clear about this. This is not a license to be a jerk. It's not an excuse to hurt people. It is psychological self-defense. It's not about going out and hurting others. It's about refusing to let others hurt you. But look, adopting this kind of mindset, it isn't easy. It has a cost. It requires a huge shift in how you see the world. And that brings us to one final and maybe the most important question of all. Think about it. What are we taught a good person is? Usually, it means being obedient, being harmless, being easy to manage, easy to control. And sure, that serves the system just fine, but does it actually serve you? So I'm just gonna leave you with this one question to think about. Are you willing to be misunderstood? Are you willing to be criticized, maybe even disliked by some people, if that is the price of actually changing your life?
Subscribe for daily wisdom.